This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is what we're looking at for Wednesday's games. Let's do a quick recap. So yesterday was a pretty long show because it took us a while to find something. Our cover boy hit for the 7th straight show. The person cover boy being the athlete that's on the cover photo or the thumbnail image of our YouTube episode. 7 straight hits. I do want to mention, I meant to mention this on yesterday's show, but we've had some of the biggest wins in 2025 for our VIP members within the last like 24 to 48 hours. And I meant to reference them, but we had a few more yesterday. So I'm going to kind of pull up some screenshots here on the screen. So the first one was it, what's today? Wednesday? I think it was Monday. So Scott is a guy who's been a premium member for over a year now. He's kind of one of our day one guys. Been with us the entire gosh dang time. And what he had was a free bet or a bonus bet of $50, right? So he took a $50 bonus bet and he's like, you know what? He's going to shoot for the moon. So he picked 4 home runs, and I believe this was Monday. 7-7. Yeah, so this was Monday. So on Monday, he did a 4-pick parlay with a $50 bonus bet. He had Corey Seager, Isaac Paredes, Bobby Witt, and Addison Barger. Addison. And guess what? All of them hit. So guess what? This man turned a free $50 bonus bet. I think this was from King of the Mound or some promo, something like that. He got a $50 bonus bet. He turned it into $25,000. This guy is the GOAT of, I would say the week, but probably the month, unless one of you guys in our Discord can top that. $50 and a $25K off of doing a 4-pick home run parlay. Now, we've had so many crazy big wins. Also on Monday, what I'm going through right now is my my baseball winning screenshots channel. Actually, I was going to just paste. I was going to after I was done recording, I was going to just paste them into the editing portion. But I think, let me actually do something here real quick. Hold on.
A few moments later.
All right, this is good enough. So we have a lot of winning screenshot channels in Discord, which if you are trying to win more money than lose, you should already be in the Discord. I've always mentioned on the shows that I scream from the rooftops, like, if you aren't doing the free stuff, you should not be betting on sports. You aren't trying hard enough, so you're literally just willingly giving the multi-billion-dollar sports books your money. You're not even, it's so crazy. You went, maybe if you have, I don't even know if you have a 9-to-5 job or whatever, you literally went to work over the past couple weeks, and you said, you know what, these 5 hours I put in to earn X amount of dollars, even though I put my 5 hours into that and earned that X amount of dollars, I'm going to just sacrifice that money I made for those 5 hours of work. I'm just going to hand it over to the sports books. I don't really care if I win or lose. You want sports books? You already have a couple $1 trillion. Have some more. You know how dumb that is? You know how dumb that sounds? Stop doing that. Why are you willingly handing your money to an organization that doesn't need it? The goal is to do everything in your power before the games ever start to make sure that these multi-trillion-dollar sports books don't continue taking your money. But this whole tangent was about you getting in the Discord. So when you're in the Discord, you can see all the winning screenshots channels of the thousands and thousands of dollars that our community wins every single night. So the one I was referring to, so here's Big Tone here. Shout out to Big Tone on July 7th here. He just 2 picks. He just did 2 no-run first inning picks using our no-run first inning predictor tool. Turned 100 into 446. Now, of course, not everybody has $100 to bet, but that's a nice win. The one I'm referencing here is good old Scott. So this was, oh man, you can't even see it on screen. So here was the 4 picks that he put together, right? And then I know you can't see it here. Nope. I was just see if I clicked on that. So this is a $50 free bet into $25K. We had I think yesterday we had some more monster wins. Oh, here, John in the Discord. So this guy did another home run parlay here. I believe it was 3 or 4. Turned $10 into $1,700. Some crazy home run parlay wins. Let me see. How much was this one here? This was a 3. So I know the way it's zoomed in, it's just weird. I'm just kind of going through here. Who was the monster win of yesterday? Oh, was it Trust? Yeah, so this guy hit a crazy parlay here, turned $5 into a good chunk of change. What else? Oh, yesterday it was Grumpy Goat. So this is another guy. So when you see in our Discord, get out of here emojis. You see there's a VIP logo. Once I hover down here, it'll show the emojis. But you see the VIP badge? When you're in our Discord, which again, if you're taking betting seriously, you should do it. If you're not taking betting seriously and you're not in the Discord because you're too lazy, please stop betting on sports altogether. But my point is that the colors of the VIP diamonds matter. If you are a VIP member from 0, so day 1 to 6 months, it's blue. If you are 6 months to like 11.99 months, it's going to be gold. And then once you've been a premium VIP member for 12 months or more, then you get essentially this one, which is a platinum. So Scott, the 2 biggest wins in the Discord this week are for people that have been with us for 12 plus months. They understand what they have to do to be a successful bettor. They understand bankroll management. They understand all these other things. They've been in here. They've been doing the grinding. They've been in the Discord for 12 months. They've been part of the community. And it's not just it took them 12 months to have this monster win. There's a lot of the smaller wins because that's the whole point of winning in sports betting. You have to kind of rewire your brain on what a successful bettor looks like. So anyway, Grumpy Goat here, a 12-month plus premium member. If you could see her on the screen, he did another, this was another home run parlay that he did as well. Did 4 picks as well, turned $10 into $1,300. So I know, so a lot of people are like, wait a second, but you tell people not to do 4-pick parlay home run things. It's the fact that they are applying themselves and they're doing bankroll management that allows them to be able to do these free bet parlays or these $10 pick parlays because they've already done the grind. They've already understood bankroll management. They've done everything they needed to do, right? And now with the excess of them doing, their 1% plays or their 2% plays or whatever it may be, they're having these crazy wins. Now, of course, Scott definitely has the crown with turning 50 into 25K, life-changing amount there. But still, this is a life-changing amount as well. If you took $10, which let's just say for argument's sake, you make $10 an hour. I'm sure that I don't know what the minimum wage now is in the country, but maybe you make a little bit less than that. Maybe you make a lot more than that. But let's just, for argument's sake, you make $10 an hour. You just turned 1 hour of work into $1,200. This is not something that's going to happen every day. This is what the sportsbooks want you to think and what all of those psychopath cappers that sell picks on like Twitter and stuff make you think is possible. They'll show you this. They'll be like, we hit these every single day. We don't hit these every single day. I'm highlighting the fact that we just hit a lot of these in the last 48 hours, but these aren't every single day hits. If you join this Discord thinking this is going to happen to you tomorrow, that's not what we're saying. We're saying that when you do the other stuff that we teach you, the stuff that I've been grinding in videos and trying to punch into your brain, this is how you win at sports betting. Once you do that stuff, it allows for this kind of thing to happen. That's why you see the 2 biggest wins coming from people who've been with us for 12 months or longer. And let me see if there's any other massive ones. Oh, and then of course, Scott, who just won 25K on Monday. Now, because he's got a lot larger bankroll, he can do, so maybe his bets were normally maybe $10, $20, $30, whatever it may be. Now, because his bankroll is much, much bigger, he can do bigger wagers, which of course lead to bigger wins. And so he wanted to turn 300 into 673, turn 100 into 601. It's the process. You have to trust the process. Do bankroll management. Do not stray away from bankroll management. Rewire your brain on what a successful bettor looks like. Follow the process. Use the app as designed. Do not do just what you want to do. You have to use the app as designed. There's every once in a while we'll get somebody that signs up for premium. They'll plug in a 15-pick parlay. They'll ignore all of the videos that say this is how to use the tool, and they'll be like, oh, this app sucks. I only hit 14 out of 15. Well, if you weren't a crazy person who's just plugging away at 15-pick parlays and you did exactly as designed, you won a ton of money if you won 14 out of 15 bets. What were some other big wins? I think Bruin had a pretty good one. So this one here, he turned $45 into 622, plugging in a lot of the spread predictor stuff and the no run first inning. What else did we have? Hertz had, I'm trying to scroll down here, but it looks like because of how I did this, I was like, why can't I see this on screen? So yeah, this guy here. So Hertz, there's like a ton of screenshots that he dropped. Won a ton of bets yesterday as well. So yeah, long story short, wanted to give those guys a shout out. Those are some of the biggest wins we've seen this year. But again, it's not something that's going to happen until you apply yourself. You're not going to hit those overnight. And that's my most frustrating thing about the ads that like these sportsbooks put out. They're like, this guy turned, like, they'll take that screenshot. This guy turned $50 free bet, and they'll post on social media, $50 free bet into 25K. And people go, ooh, I want to do that. But they skip. They want to get to Z, but they skip A through. I actually, for a hot second, paused, making sure I said the letter before Z. I feel like I just woke up. A through Y. They'll skip A through Y, and then they'll be like, I want Z. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to do A through Y. Sports betting is not a get-rich-quick scheme. That's what the sportsbooks want you to believe, which is how you, by not doing A through Y, made them a multi-billion dollar companies. So one more thing I want to do is I'm going to have to throw this screenshot up on the screen in editing, but this is something that we got a good laugh on in Discord. So we had somebody who commented on our video yesterday. So again, the video, I'm not going to just hit record me finding something, and then just only show you me finding something. I'm going to show you the process every single time. And the point of showing you the process is so you know how to use the app on your own. If you are a very, very lazy person who will not hashtag apply yourself, and who will not take the time it takes to learn how to use the app and better themselves and give themselves a better chance and their families a better chance of having more money than less money when in regards to sports betting, there's this guy that's like, I'll throw up his comment on the video. This guy will never be a successful sports bettor. And I didn't ban him from the YouTube channel because I want him to be able to watch this video, see us making fun of him, because this is the problem, is that people want instant gratification. These are the type of people that pay for picks, that don't want to do any research. They claim they have zero time. If you have zero time, so I wish I can explain this math to you guys. You're working at your day job, so you have time to work to make money, but you don't have time to not set that money on fire. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll maybe in the next video or tomorrow's show, I'll figure out, find a better way to explain that. But if you don't have time, and if you not having time equals you losing money, then why are you even here? So this guy, of course, is someone who's not going to be successful at sports betting. And I really, joking aside, if you're watching this, which I hope you are, please stop betting on sports. It does require the A through Y. And that, I've been using hashtag apply yourself, but maybe I'll just shift over to using the A through Y. You were just asking for Z. You will never, ever, 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 ever be successful pretty much in anything if you just go from, oh, I want to do this, to Z. You have to do the A through Y. You have to. And I know that I've been talking a long time before ever switching the screen, but these are important things. These aren't joking matters. These are important things. Every single person watching this who has skipped through and just all the way to the end every video, oh, I just want to see what he winds up on, will never, ever, ever, ever be successful. And if you do not have time to watch this entire video, I understand. There's some games that start at 1 p.m. sometimes, and you don't have time during your lunch break, whatever it may be. But the point is that if you listen to me, you'll never have to watch one of these shows again, ever. because the point of the show is to teach you how to use the app. So let's say you wake up at 8 a.m., you got to work at 9 a.m. I'm just using, I don't care if you're like, oh, that's impossible for me to only take an hour to get ready and get to work. I don't care. We're just using time as an example. You wake up at 8, you go to work at 9, and you have 0 downtime. At 8 o'clock, which is always going to be before I do a show for the day, you already know how to use the app because you watched one of my other shows. So at 8 o'clock, you wake up, you look at the app. Okay, based on what Travis taught me in the last 600 episodes on YouTube, let me do this on the filter, let me do this, let me do this, let me do this. Okay, here are some plays that make sense. So you never, ever, ever have to say, oh, I never had time to watch today's show. You don't have to. You just have to listen to me. If you listen to me showing you and teaching you how to use the app that I created for you, I didn't create this app for me. This app was created to help you understand what it takes to be successful better, to help you lose less and win more. If you're not ever using this app and using it exactly how I'm teaching you to use it, there is no point in you betting on sports. You're just going to lose money in the long run. So, again, I apologize for taking 16-ish minutes to get to this point, but these are important things that are very, very important to me. You have to do the A through Y. You have to. There is no way around it. You have to do the A through Y. Now, again, it took us longer to get here than normally does, but again, the people that understand are okay with me taking 15 minutes on that tangent because they see we don't. And I know I talked about the YouTube thing, and I know we all joked about him in Discord, about the guy that doesn't do the A through Y, wants the Z. But it's not even, we just joked about it because he was just being a troll on YouTube. But it's like, this is very important to not just me, but to everybody in the Discord. Like the people that apply themselves and do the A through Y, it frustrates the crap out of not just me, but the entire community of the A through Y people, the people that apply themselves. It drives us crazy when somebody comes in and they go, what's the Z? What's the Z? Give me the Z. I want the Z. And then they're like, wait, what? Did you even watch any of the videos? Did you go to any of the buttons up here that says click to learn how to use this and click the button and learn how to use it? Now, granted, maybe not every single person knows that this is a button. I understand there's a bunch of different things, but it drives us crazy when people come in and just go straight to the Z. Anyway, I'll stop on the tangent, I promise. Let's look at what we got for today. I think there's a handful of games today, maybe like 11 or 12. So what I just did here is what I do on every episode for MLB Strikeouts. And you might be asking, I've had a lot of people ask, like, hey, what about like in NBA or WNBA? There's a lot of different shows for across the last, 16, 17 months now. You can go back and watch in a WNBA episode from earlier this year, from last year. It's all the same. I teach you the same thing on every episode. I'm going to be doing, of course, we're very close next month. It starts college football at the end of next month, so we're going to be doing some college football stuff. But I feel like I keep doing more tangents. This is the same thing we've been doing on every single MLB show this entire year. Let's see if we can find some trifectas. Mackenzie Gore, 5.5. His projection would have to be 6.5. It's actually almost 2.0 over. Sportsbooks favor the over, so this is technically a trifecta by those standards. Jose, versing the most strikeout he has teamed the last 3, which is the Dodgers, surprisingly enough. His projection would have to be 4.5. It's not a trifecta. David, his projection has to be 5.5. It is exactly, but the sportsbooks don't favor the over or the under. They actually favor the under. His under is 120, so that's not a trifecta for David. Let's see. Sportsbooks favor the under here, not a trifecta. His projection would have to be 4.5. It's not a trifecta. And then the other 2 are underplays. We'll click under here. Antonio, his projection would have to be 2.5. It's not 0.95. It's 2.55. So it's almost a trifecta, but not quite. And then Cade, his projection would have to be 3.5, and it's not quite that. It's 3.67. So out of everybody here, there is only one trifecta, right? Yeah, because everybody, there's only one person who's a trifecta by what we need to be a trifecta. And that's Mackenzie Gore. But the problem is he's versing St. Louis. And why is that a bad thing? Well, if you see up here, St. Louis is 25th most in Ks over the course of the entire season. That's fifth least in Ks because there's only 30 teams in the MLB. And over the course of the last 3, they're still around the bottom 8, 22nd most in the last 3. So they're not really striking out too much. Mackenzie Gore is a strikeout machine. Typically, we see his line at like 6.5. And you see here, there's a reason why. 7, 9, 9, 8. So 7, 9, 9, 8, 7, 6. So he had, like, if we click last 20, look at this. This guy is a strikeout machine. And you not only, the thing I really, really like, and I know I've mentioned this a lot on our strikeout stuff, is if you can get to double digits, you have strikeout stuff. It is not easy to get double-digit strikeouts in the MLB. And the fact that this season he has a 13K game here and a 13K game here, granted, sure, it's against Colorado and they're hot trash. This guy's got strikeout stuff. He's only missed this 4 times this season. But 3 of those 4 times are in his last 4 games. Out of the 3 or 4, he has not hit this number. But the positive note is that he is getting massive pitch count. 97 pitches, 100 pitches, 103. Last game, 111 pitches. So he's getting 100-plus pitches. But again, St. Louis is not striking out. He's got a 31.4% strikeout rate, a 39.8% strikeout rate. It's very, very rare for you to see a pitcher have 31.4% or higher against both righties and lefties. Again, he's got strikeout stuff. He's a good strikeout pitcher. But recently, he's had some issues. I just told you when we were looking at someone else that Dodgers in the last 3 games have the most strikeouts out of any team in baseball. What is this? 19 days ago, he only got 4 Ks against them with 100 pitches. Gave up 5 earned runs. That's the problem with Dodgers. They'll strike out, but if they can light you up early and kick you out before you can get your Ks up. This is what is concerning here. He's a lefty. It looks like Cardinals have an even split. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it looks like they got 5 righties and 4 lefties. What we can do real quick, this is something we did 2 weeks ago, is even though this stuff is red, we're going to do one more thing before we rule this guy out, right? And the one thing we're going to do is we're going to flip over to hitting stats, and we're going to actually look at everybody's strikeout rate versus lefties. Because it's human nature that there are more right-handed pitchers than left-handed pitchers. I don't know why that's a thing. That's just how it is. A lot more people in the world are right-handed than left-handed. Maybe on a different planet in a multiverse, that's not what it is. But here on Earth, number whatever it is in the multi-MCU, that's what it is. But maybe these numbers are low because St. Louis versus a lot of right-handed pitchers, and maybe they don't strike out against right-handed pitchers, but maybe they strike out against left-handed pitchers. So that's what we're going to check right now. We're not going to rule it out until we check everything. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to a hitting stat just to pull up the hitters, right? So we're going to go to hits, runs, RBIs. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to any St. Louis pitcher. So what we're going to do next is we're going to find the St. Louis game. So we're going to just click on Nolan, right? So this is the St. Louis game. What we're looking for is strikeout rate against lefties. Mackenzie Gore, which is the pitcher we're looking at, is versus lefties. So in front of me, I have the Jack Sinner and Ben Shelton live quarterfinal Wimbledon match pulled up, and Shelton was a plus 450. I've been rooting for this kid like for the last 2 or 3 years heavily, and so I'm like distracted by looking at that as well. Anyway, that's unrelated. So we're going to go through all of the St. Louis batters, and we're going to see how many of them have a 20% or higher strikeout rate against lefties. That's what we're looking for. If a majority of them have a 20% or higher, we're going to go with Mackenzie Gore. So I'm going to say that before we look into it so you know what I'm looking for, right? Okay, so versus righties, he's got a 27. Versus lefties, he's 28.6. So Gorman, check. We like that. We're going to go back. We're going to look at Victor Scott. Versus righties, he's 26. Versus lefties, he's 29. Check. So both of them have a higher strikeout rate against lefties. We like that. Thomas Sagesi, like, who are even these guys? Who are these guys? I have not heard of these names. He's got a 24 against righties, 27. So that's 3 for 3. Not only 20% or higher against lefties, strikeout rate, but Their strikeout rate against the lefties is higher than against righties. That's also something that's interesting to note. Next up, Wilson Contreras, 23 against righties. His about the same, 23.9, 23.5. So his strikeout rate's still 23.5 or higher against both sides, but still against the 20% we're looking for. So these are, it's interesting that they have so many strikeout people of 20% or higher, but they're so low over the course of the season. So here's a guy that doesn't strike out a lot, Mason Wynn, 17% against righties, 21.5 against lefties. Another person who's 20% plus against lefties, check. And also somebody who is striking out more against lefties than righties. And it looks like those are the only ones that have a hit run RBI line. So let's go to let's go to total bases here. Let's see if we can find more St. Louis. Let's see, Contreras we looked at. Did we already look at Brendan Donovan? Can't remember. No. So Donovan is a low strikeout hitter. Look at this, 9.1. Like, he's legit at not striking out against righties. But then it goes up from 9 to 22% against lefties. This is why it is important to check every stat that the app offers. So, what did the last 2 minutes teach us? Even though St. Louis is a very, very low strikeout team against lefties, we have yet to find anyone who has a sub 20% strikeout rate against lefties. So, even though on the surface we see Mackenzie Gore is versing a team that is 25th most in Ks, 22nd last 3, because he's had 2 games this season of 13 Ks or more, which means he's got strikeout stuff, because his line is typically lower than or higher than 5.5 because of that, 5.5, it might be the lowest we've seen all season. I still think, and even though he's had some rough stuff in his last 4 games, 3 out of the last 4 he hasn't hit this line, I think because St. Louis strikes out 20% or higher across every batter we looked at, I think this is something that we can actually go with. And his projection is almost 2.0. It's actually, 1.94 higher. And the sportsbooks are favoring the over as well. So hopefully this makes sense on why we're going with Gore. But I think that's what we're going to be locking in here. Because if Gore was right-handed, we would not be going with St. Louis. Because I believe this data here is because there's a lot more right-handed pitchers that they're versing than lefties. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you hanging through the first 17 minutes of Tangent, but I really need to explain to the people that you have to do the A through Y. You can't just jump to the Z. Please enter the PlayerProps.ai giveaway. I'm giving away $5,000 for free. It costs you $0 to enter. Again, if you can't do the free stuff, you can't win in sports betting. And then if you have any questions, of course, as you see up here, if you ever need help, just ask. I have like one person every other month that says like, hey, I signed up for premium. I'm not having success with it. I don't want this anymore. And then I go, wait a second. You went from signing up to saying this isn't like to essentially giving up on yourself. There's a middle ground, which is you asking for help. If you are using the app and you are premium and you're not having the same success as everybody else in the Discord showing you with the daily winning screenshots, please, for the love of all that's holy, ask me a question in Discord. Shoot me a DM. You don't have to ask it in a public channel if you don't want to. Just ask me a question. I get people doing this every single day. I get people DMing me, hey, like, am I looking at this right? Am I doing this right? Keep that going. The giveaway, PlayerProps.ai/giveaway. There's also a giveaways channel on Discord. All the information's there. Ask questions if you need help. And then lastly, there is a day pass available for you. You cannot find it on the iOS Apple iPhone app. You have to go to the website or go to the Android app to find it. Once you get to that, it'll say day pass on the pricing page. You can actually get a complimentary day pass that gives you full access to everything for 24 hours, like a legit 24 hours. So what happens is once you sign up for it, it'll give the small cost of the $10 back to you, and it'll make your first month or your first year $10 off. So it costs you $0 once you upgrade, because we just give it back to you. We know that you're going to want to upgrade for a longer term after you do the day pass. So once you sign up for the day pass, we give that cost back to you whenever you upgrade to either of those. So make sure you check that out as well. Again, not available on the Apple app, iPhone app, only on the website or the Android app. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck today. Sorry for the long tangents, but you guys know, the people that have been with me for a long time know, this is important. You have to scream from the rooftops to get it through people who just want the Z that they have to do A through Y. If you just go for the Z, you will all you're doing is funding the CEOs of the multi-billion-dollar sports book. You're funding their vacations with their family in the summer. Why are you paying for their vacations for the family in the summer? You should be paying for your family's vacations in the summer. And the only way to do that is by doing the A through Y to get to the Z. Good luck today, guys, and we'll see you in the Discord.